This video breaks down the 7 levels of military helicopters, moving from simple utility aircraft to the most advanced rotorcraft shaping the future of warfare. Level 1. Early utility and rescue helicopters. Level 1 includes the first effective military helicopters that entered service during the 1940s and 1950s. These aircraft were simple, small, and often used for observation, transport, and emergency evacuation. Examples include the Sikorsky R-4, the Korean War-era H-13 Su, the Westland Dragonfly, and similar early platforms. These helicopters used basic piston engines. Their rotor systems were simple. Their airframes were light. They carried very little equipment. Their most important strength was mobility. They could land where nothing else could. They lifted wounded soldiers from the battlefield. They transported scouts and commanders to vantage points. They carried small supplies to remote areas. The H-13 Su is well known because of its appearance in Korean War stories. It carried the familiar bubble canopy. It flew slowly and with almost no armor. Yet it saved many lives by evacuating injured soldiers from frontline positions. Level 1 helicopters did not carry advanced sensors, weapons, or heavy cargo. They did not fight directly. Their engines struggled in hot or high-altitude environments. They were vulnerable to small arms fire. What they did provide was proof. These early machines showed that vertical lift had a real place in military operations. They established the concept of helicopter mobility that all later levels would build on. Level 2. Early utility workhorses. Level 2 brings us into the era when helicopters became central to logistics, troop transport, and general-purpose missions. These aircraft carried larger loads, flew farther, and operated more reliably than the early generation. The UH-1 Huey, the Mil-Mi-4, the Bell 47 variants, and the early French Alouette series belong here. The Huey is the most iconic example. It introduced turbine engines that provided more power and better performance. It carried troops into combat zones. It extracted them. It delivered supplies and served as a flying ambulance. The Huey also supported fire missions by mounting machine guns and rockets. This versatility became a defining trait. Militaries used these helicopters for everything from patrols to disaster response. Mi-4S and similar platforms performed similar roles in the Soviet and Eastern Bloc forces. They carried infantry, equipment, and weapons. They laid the foundation for larger Soviet helicopters that would follow. Level 2 helicopters were not sophisticated. Their armor was limited. Their instrumentation was mostly analog. Their range and payload were modest by modern standards. Yet they proved that helicopters could support large-scale operations and could operate in difficult terrain. They made it possible to move entire units through areas where vehicles could not travel. This level represents the moment when helicopters became essential tools rather than experimental vehicles. Level 3. First-generation attack helicopters. Level 3 marks the beginning of the attack helicopter concept. These aircraft were designed to escort transport helicopters, provide fire support, and engage ground threats. They carried cannons, rockets, and early guided missiles. The R-1 Cobra is the best-known example in this category. Its narrow fuselage, tandem seating, and dedicated weapons systems distinguished it from any utility helicopter. The Soviet Mi-24 Hind also fits in Level 3, although it is unique because it blended attack capability with troop transport. The Cobra introduced several ideas that became standard. It placed the pilot and gunner one behind the other for better visibility and lower profile. It mounted weapons under stub wings. It carried a chin turret with a cannon. These features allowed it to engage enemy forces more effectively than armed utility helicopters. The Mi-24 Hind took a different approach. It combined heavy weapons with space for infantry. It could insert troops, then provide fire support. It had thick armor for its era and was faster than many helicopters of similar size. Level 3 helicopters had clear limitations. Their sensors were basic. Their night fighting capability was limited. Their armor offered only modest protection. Their fire control systems lacked the precision of later generations. But they introduced the idea that helicopters could serve as dedicated attack platforms. This was the turning point where vertical lift became a direct combat tool, not just a transport or utility asset. Level 4. Modern medium utility and assault helicopters. Level 4 moves into helicopters that are built to survive in modern combat zones while carrying heavier loads. These aircraft transport troops, equipment, weapons, and supplies. They also perform medical evacuation, special operations, and insertion missions. The -60 Black Hawk is the most recognizable helicopter in this tier. Others include the NH-90, the AW-101 Merlin, the Mi-17, and the S-70 family. These aircraft use powerful engines, digital cockpits, and strong airframes. They can handle high altitudes, hot environments, and harsh weather. Black Hawks introduced important improvements. The airframe is designed to survive crashes. The rotor system remains functional after significant damage. The helicopter carries defensive countermeasures that protect it from missiles. It can mount door guns and other weapons for self-defense. The Mi-17 offers similar strengths on the Russian side. It is known for its durability, large internal space, and ability to operate in rugged conditions. It serves in many countries due to its practicality and load capacity. Level 4 helicopters are not pure attack platforms, but they can support combat. They can insert troops under fire. They can deliver ammunition to frontline positions. They can evacuate casualties quickly. They can carry external cargo slung beneath the aircraft. This level marks the point where helicopters become fully capable, versatile battlefield machines. They provide mobility, logistics, and support in ways that reshape ground operations. Level 5. Heavy lift and strategic transport helicopters. Level 5 focuses on helicopters that have the power to move large equipment, armored vehicles, artillery, and massive loads of supplies. They extend the reach of armies by transporting heavy gear to locations where trucks or aircraft cannot reach. The Cheech-47 Chinook and the Cheech-53K King Stallion are the defining examples. The Mi-26 fits here as well because it is one of the largest and most powerful helicopters ever built. The Chinook uses two large rotors that spin in opposite directions. This design eliminates the need for a tail rotor and increases lift. It carries troops, vehicles, fuel tanks, howitzers, and humanitarian supplies. It operates in extreme cold, high altitude, and demanding environments where other aircraft struggle. The Cheech-53K represents a new era of heavy lift. It uses composite rotor blades, powerful engines, and modern controls. It can lift loads that older helicopters could not handle. It was built to transport armored vehicles, equipment, and large pallets over long distances. The Mi-26 is even larger. It can lift more than 20 tons. It carried crashed aircraft out of remote areas. It delivered supplies during disasters. It expanded the limits of helicopter logistics. Level 5 helicopters are not meant to fight directly. Their value lies in their ability to carry equipment and supplies across mountains, oceans, and damaged infrastructure. They support large operations by giving ground forces the gear they need when they need it. This level represents strategic mobility. It shows how helicopters can influence entire campaigns by moving hardware that would otherwise be stuck far from the front. Level 6. Advanced attack helicopters. Level 6 is where attack helicopters reach the peak of modern capability. These aircraft combine powerful weapons, advanced sensors, strong armor, and digital systems. They provide close air support, destroy armored vehicles, scout ahead, and strike targets in challenging conditions. The R-64 Apache, the Tiger had, the Z-10, and the modernized versions of the Mi-28 and K-52 belong here. The Apache is the most widely deployed. It carries a 30mm chain gun, Hellfire missiles, rockets, and advanced optics. It includes thermal imaging, laser designators, and radar that detects targets beyond visual range. Its armor protects the crew against small arms and shrapnel. Its systems continue to improve through regular upgrades. The Tiger had used by European forces is lighter but highly maneuverable. It carries guided missiles and advanced sensors. It performs reconnaissance and support missions with accuracy. The Ka-52 and Mi-28 on the Russian side bring strong firepower and advanced targeting equipment. They include modern defensive systems and can operate in a wide range of weather conditions. Level 6 helicopters offer precision, survivability, and flexibility. They can coordinate with drones and other aircraft. They can support ground troops in dense terrain. They can engage armored threats from concealed positions. They represent the height of traditional attack helicopter design. Level 7. Next generation and future vertical lift. The final level covers helicopters and rotorcraft, now entering development or early testing. These machines aim to break past the limits of conventional helicopter design. They focus on higher speed, greater range, improved survivability, and integrated digital systems. The SB-1 Defiant, the Raider X, and concepts inspired by the Ra-66 Comanche project belong here. The Future Vertical Lift program in the United States also fits this tier, as well as similar development paths in Europe and Asia. These aircraft use advanced rotor system. Many rely on coaxial rotors combined with a pusher propeller. This allows speeds far beyond traditional helicopters, while maintaining the ability to hover and land vertically. Stealth shaping plays a meaningful role. These designs aim to reduce radar and infrared signatures. They are built to survive in high-threat environments with advanced air defenses. Sensors and digital networks define Level 7. These helicopters can share live targeting information with drones, ground forces, and aircraft. They can control unmanned systems directly. Some variants may operate with reduced crew, or even fly autonomously. Active protection systems become standard. These sensors detect incoming missiles and deploy countermeasures or intercept them. Instead of relying only on thick armor, next-generation helicopters use intelligence and automation to avoid or neutralize threats. This level represents the future of vertical lift. It shows how helicopters will adapt to battlefields dominated by drones, artificial intelligence, and long-range threats.